Guernica Mancini from Thundermother. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are
Good.
you?
I am good. You look great. It is great to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thundermother reformed in 2017, and that's when you came on to the band. You did an album in 2018, self-titled album, and
Mhm.
now you have a new album called Heatwave. Now, Philippa, she's been at it from day one, and she's been
Yep.
through a lot of different formations. What made this formation of the band come together?
I think that most bands go through that. You change band members because it takes a while for people to figure out what they really want to do, or if it's your real passion, and also to kind of learn what actually goes into being in a band and trying to make it as a band, and music industry. So I think finally she found members that were on the same page as her. We all have the same ambitions as she has, and really we just want this as much as she does, and we've all been doing it on our own in different bands, and been through very similar things that she's been through. And I don't know. I think it's just like something kind of magical that we all found each other, and now it's just been working out so well. And we're a great team. Like, we have so much fun together, and I think that's something that people really see, like, on our social medias. And if you come and see our shows, you'll see like that good energy, the good vibe, and it's just because we all really just love what we do and really enjoy working together.
Mm. Now, give me the names of everybody that's currently in the band.
So we got Filippa, our founding mother,
Mhm.
Filippa Nessil, and then we got Emily Johansson on drums, and Majsan Lindberg on bass.
And the band is really tight. And what you just said, it does come off that way. It does come off like you're all getting along and you're all having a good time. It definitely comes off that way. So now you put out the album. You have done a lot of extensive touring. The band has played in Italy, Spain, Germany, obviously all over Sweden, where the band is based. Has the band been to America yet?
We have actually. We played on the Kiss Cruise
I
2018.
was gonna ask you about the Kiss Cruise because I know you got so psyched up after you did that. You were like, you
Yes.
got all involved in Kiss after that and started checking Kistery, so to speak.
Yes. Well, I guess we could say we're part of the Kiss Army, kind of now.
Nice.
We got invited back last year, so we played at the pre-party for the actual cruise.
Hmm.
So the Kiss Army the Kiss Army people are just awesome, and they really enjoyed Thundermother, so they invited us back. So we've been in America twice, but it's been in Miami.
Well, that's
So
America, so that's
that is
close. Not close. I
America.
mean, that is. Now, where are you from originally?
Well, I'm born and raised here in Sweden, but my parents are from Uruguay.
Now, how did you find Thundermother? How did Thundermother find you? How did that come about?
Well, actually, in my previous band, I got to know Filippa's fiance Pontus, and so we opened for them. And I guess he was a fan of our band. It was more like a Led Zeppelin type blues rock band. So we actually got to open for Filippa's then other band. She had a blues band called High Fly. And so we opened for them, and we became friends, and we had each other on social media. And then when I was going through some stuff in my band, well, the bass player quit the band, so we had to find a new member. I reached out to people that I knew in the industry just to get some feedback, and maybe if they knew of someone. And then while during that conversation, Filippa mentioned really briefly, like, yeah, we're having a tough time too, kind of. And then I jokingly said to her that, well, if you ever need a singer, me thinking that the singer would never quit, ever in a million years,
Right.
I'll be there tomorrow. And then she was like, well, actually, would you be interested in auditioning? And I was like, fuck yeah.
Nice.
So that's how it all went down. And then I know I guess they were thinking of auditioning other people, but I think they ended up like, I was really persistent and like wanting to be part of this band, and
Good
so I
for
got
you.
the
You
job.
have to be.
Yeah. I was like calling her I mean, it was just for a week because we just hit it off really, from the beginning. So that audition was really fun. And then we had some beers and whatever, and just, getting to know each other, better. And so I was like calling Filippa every day after that until I got the job.
Good for you. That's what you got to do. That
Yeah.
is definitely what you have to do. Now, I also read that with this album, this is the most cohesive as far as everybody contributing to the album on the writing process. Tell me a little bit how that writing process goes. Do they come up with songs and then do you step in? Do you write all the lyrics? Do you wait for songs to be finished?
Every song is been really different. Like, I guess for the most part, it's like Filippa will have a great riff, or maybe like like just like a title, and then we work from there. But everyone has like, I guess the writing is my strong suit. That's where I feel most comfortable, and that's what I really enjoy doing. And but so together we've kind of just been able to get the best out of all of us. Well, like Driving in Style, for example, that
Hmm.
we wrote that one with Sören. So it was me, Filippa, and Sören that wrote that song. And Filippa just had the idea of like, she just had that title, Driving in Style. So then we just like started to put together this like story about this like awesome dude. And then obviously in the second verse we turn it around and it's like, a different perspective. But every song is different for sure. Heatwave. I came up with the title of Heatwave and some lines when we were going to Munich last year, and it happened to be the hottest day of the summer. So then once we were at the airport, I wrote it down, and then I was like, we need to write something with this. And then obviously we all put together our ideas, and it became a great song.
And the band self-admittedly is very much influenced by AC/DC, Airborne, Motorhead, and on that particular track, Heatwave, I can hear that. And it doesn't sound like you're robbing AC/DC, but you definitely hear the AC/DC influences. Is that more Filippa's style, or is that a band thing throughout?
I would say it's Filippa's style. I mean, when she started the band, she had a very clear vision, but now I think as a musician, as a creative person, you evolve and you want to, explore, and most people listen to more bands than one, like,
Sure,
so
yeah.
we all have different musical backgrounds. So even though we made it a point to keep that DNA and to try to spice it up with like some AC/DC touches here and there, just because that is part of our DNA, Thundermother DNA. But we definitely wanted to, or I think we managed, without even thinking about it on this album, to really just like create a more unique Thundermother sound.
You have another song on there, The Mud, which definitely sounds like a song that you've written about doing festivals, because I know the band does a lot of festivals, right?
Yeah. It's all about festivals. Into the Mud, it initially was inspired by our first time playing at Wacken. And it happened to be a super rainy day, and it was muddy, and we kind of like, I wouldn't say forced Filippa, but we were we pushed her in a positive way to go out in the audience like she always does and run around. And it was like super muddy. There's awesome pictures of this somewhere where she has like mud up to her knees, and it was crazy.
The second single, Sleep,
Mhm.
which I love this song. And it sounds kind of sad, kind of about well, obviously it's about a breakup,
Yeah.
but sad in a good way. Tell me the origin of that song. How did that come about?
I remember Filippa bringing the music to us, and then she had written some lyrics. So, and I told her, I was like, what is this about? And it was like all over the place. So then me and Emily, the drummer, went out and just reshaped the whole thing and rewrote it and kept like maybe a sentence or two from what she originally had and made it into a breakup song. Because I guess we've never had one of those in the band, and I've been through several breakups and it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's also, like looking back on a lot of previous relationships for me, and especially the one that I had in mind when I wrote this, I mean, it's been for the better. So it's, it's sad because it's hard when you're in it, but then it's at the same time it's beautiful when once you've let it go and you've like, processed the whole thing, then usually it's just for the better. And I think that's kind of that bittersweet thing in the end, like I'm letting you go now, and
Yeah.
and it's fine.
Now, most of these songs come, most of the songs are about 3.5 minutes, give or take, except Purple Sky, which is a longer song and it's kind of a more bluesy intro. What is it about Purple Sky that made Purple Sky like close to 5 minutes long as opposed to the other songs?
Well, we never thought of it as a single. It was like more of a B-side type track that we all just loved so much that we had to have it on the album, because it was also nice to kind of show, I mean, people can hear on this album that we've evolved as a band, and we're exploring with we're taking influences from, different places, and that song is we're like allowed to showcase like a more, I guess, musical side. I wouldn't say that we're not musical by playing 3-chord, rock and roll, because that's awesome and we love that. But it's nice to be able to show our fans and people that we can do so much more. And this was just something that this song just happened, and it was beautiful. And it was one of those things where like the girls went out and they were like working on the music, and then I sat in the other room and I wrote lyrics, and then we just put it together, and it just turned out to be this like epic. I really love it, and I'm really happy that it's on the album.
Yes, so am I, because like you said, yeah, there's the 3-chord, but again, back to the band really has evolved on this album, and there's much more depth to the band than just 3 chords.
And that's kind of what we want to with this album. Like we're not like hiding the fact that we really want to reach the next level and gain some sort of mainstream success with this.
One of the things I really love about the band is that there is that depth of blues in there, because look, AC/DC, they know the blues. Aerosmith, they know the blues. That's where those bands come from. And I hear that in Thundermother's music. And for me, it's always been about blues-based rock and roll. Who are Thundermother's fans? Is it guys? Is it girls? What's the age demographic? Who do you see at your shows? Who comes up? I know the band is big on, being at the merch booth and meeting their fans. So who comes to your shows?
Well, it's actually changed. It's starting to change a lot now, but I would say the normal fan is a slightly older man that likes to wear a vest. But now, one thing that's starting to has made me super, super happy is that I've noticed it's a lot more girls like, posting about Thundermother and even at our shows. Like I wouldn't say, I mean, it's always more guys at the shows, but more and more you can see your female Thundermother fans, which is awesome. We're hoping with this album that we were going to be able to reach a younger audience. And I know once I introduce people to like Thundermother, which is easier for people to listen to and enjoy, because it's groovy and it's fun, especially if you see us live, then they're just like, wow. And I think that needs to kind of happen now. And we're really trying our best to like reach new people. I kind of in my mind, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. We just need to keep working at it and making sure that people listen to our music and, keep touring.